Welcome back to the Sheffield United career mode. The hunt for Champions League football is well and truly on. However, we are kind of hunted as we start with Manchester City away from home. Unfortunately, after playing them in the Carabao Cup final yesterday, we lost in the 91st minute. So we are going to have to rely on, hopefully, the league finish for European football. We are still in the latter stages of the FA Cup, so we could still make Europa League football by winning that trophy. For the minute, the Champions League top 4 spots are very much achievable, so we're going to try our best to force our way in there and see what we can do. We have a number of games today. We'll start by simming City, actually, because we've played them a lot recently. So we'll sim City, play Aston Villa, play Everton, sim Forest, and play Palace. Or maybe play the 2 home Premier League games and sim Palace away. Palace are currently in the relegation zone as it stands right now, not having the best of seasons. So a number of today's opponents aren't doing that well, although if Palace win they will be up to 16th with their game in hand and not that far behind Everton and Forest, who sit mid-table at the moment. So there's a lot to play for still for the rest of this season, and we intend to very much play for it. We couldn't quite get the trophy first time around, but maybe if we can beat Aston Villa in the next game, we might just be able to... Well, they're all absolutely knackered. We might be able to make our way through towards the FA Cup final as well. It was only a narrow margin of defeat, of course, in the Carabao Cup final yesterday. Although we had one shot and they had something like 13. And our one shot didn't come until the 88th minute. So we know we're not on Manchester City's level. We don't expect to be on Manchester City's level. So we'll just sim this one and concentrate on sides that we stand a better chance of beating in a played game, to be completely honest. We're in though, and we've scored. I tell you what, Tijani Reinders loves scoring in the Premier League. He cannot help himself. He's a proper goal machine in that midfield. What an improvement to the 11 he's been in just a short time since arriving in January. Unbelievable. What a man. Away, please. Oh, he's lobbed him. Bernardo Silva over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. City are level on the brink of half-time. And it's the Portuguese that buries it. Tijani's on fire. Your defence is terrified. Tijani's on fire. Your defence is terrified. Tijani's on fire. Na 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 na. Tuba's on fire. Your defence is terrified. Tuba's on fire. We lead by 2-1 at the Etihad. Unbelievable stuff. Sat here singing away to ourselves with live chat. Having the time of our lives. 3 minutes to hold on. But City do love a late goal. Oh! Dino. What an unbelievable late stop to flick that round the post, and it will earn us the win. Much more competitive that time around than we were in the played game, and we win by 2-1. That was our game in hand as well, I'm sure of it. In the quarterfinals of the FA Cup now, we're just one game away from Wembley once more. We're up to 6th in the Premier League, and it wasn't our game in hand. So we can still close to within 3 points of Arsenal. Aston Villa actually knocked out Manchester City on the way to this FA Cup quarter-final. There's a place at Wembley for the semis at stake. Their player to watch, rather understandably, still Moussa Diaby, up to 87 rated, as we mentioned in yesterday's episode. We played Villa and City both in yesterday's episode, and if this were a league game, I may well have considered simming this one as well to have 3 fresh opponents today. But with it being a knockout cup competition, I don't really want to risk going out of the FA Cup with a sim, so we will play at Villa Park. And I'll probably go out of the cup by playing it instead of simming it in in contrast. But they are, I believe, the same as they were in that league game yesterday. The only change being that Emil Smith-Rowe on the left-hand side is to the bench and Felipe Coutinho is into their starting lineup. I've actually made a couple of changes with Gustavo Harmer into the midfield and Austin Trusty into the centre-back line. Vinny Souza should have the captain's armband today. Although it might actually be on Austin Trusty's arm. I can't quite see that. I think I gave it to Vinny Souza, or it defaulted to Vinny Souza, because he's the highest rated player. But then in the graphic there, it's showing it as Trusty. So maybe Trusty's captain, who knows. regardless, doesn't have any effect on the gameplay. I'm never really that fussed as to who has the captain's armband, but it's definitely something that you guys in your own saves pay more attention to. And certainly in the comment section, occasionally you see a comment pop up being like, Ches, make so-and-so captain. So we certainly made the choice to make Harry Maguire captain, thanks to feedback from the live chat. That's on its way in. Max Lowe's crossing is terrible, but he nearly scored with it there. Oh, it's a lovely through ball. If only Arnell wasn't in the way, eh? Christophe Royer forward. Gus is up, but he's only 5'7", Gus. He's not going to win many headers. Lovely ball into Jesus Ferreira. Dino with a brilliant stop. Oh, that was dangerous, wasn't it? Corner to come in from that far side, perhaps. Jesus Ferreira to the edge of the box. Diaby winds up. Oh, it hit a hand. Felipe Coutinho is very good at free kicks, isn't he? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Top left corner of the wall. Thankfully. They'll try again from a set piece. It's all Aston Villa. Not keen. I am certain that that was a shot from Diaby. The way he wound up for it with his technique, there's no way that was an intended pass. I'm sure of it. Watch his technique here as he winds up. He absolutely is going for a shot there and skews it so horribly on his left foot that it somehow picks out Geraldo Becker on the edge of the 6-yard box on his own. How lucky do you want to be? Aston Villa take the lead in the FA Cup. Becker. He's on a yellow. Trying to tempt him into making a foul. Oh my God! Said that Tierney Reinders' shot was one of the hardest we'd seen shot in a sim in the Burton game in yesterday's episode. It's in the same recording session, hence why it's fresh in my mind. But wow! That was particularly strongly struck, wasn't it? Through that gap. Here is Tijani. Oh, and fingertip stuff from Emi Martinez. Denies Tijani another goal. Harmer with the corner. Tuba's up. It's going to fall to Trusty. He will knock it down to Arnell. He will knock it to Vinny Souza. Can it please find its way to someone that can actually shoot? It does, but Ollie McBurney can't keep hold of it. That said, Ollie might now have the chance to shoot, which he does. He doesn't score. Ollie! Come on, mate! John McGinn. Nice interception by Austin Trusty, still proving that he's definitely got the talents to continue to challenge for a first-team spot. Although we will be replacing Ahmed Hozic with someone better than Austin Trusty. Oh, but nobody in this save so far has been better at goal scoring in a Sheffield United shirt than Chuba Akpom. Emi Martinez comes to punch that. Can I get there with Harmer? He's not got the height on Becker, but Becker just bottled it. Reinders from range. No, not like that. Body position all wrong. Here's Bogle. Shakes off the challenge. Ref? It's very rare you actually see a free kick given for something like that. But there's definitely a push in the back there. Tijani went flying. Who has good free kicks? Tijani at 70 might be the go-to here with the extra shot power. We've just been marvelling at his stats from last year in real life that earned him the move to AC Milan. Oh, Emi, full stretch. I think it was perhaps just going wide. It was worth a go. It really was. Up we go, please, Christopher. And again, maybe no, he couldn't regain his balance quickly enough. And unfortunately, Villa will clear it and then break dangerously. Really dangerously. Properly dangerously. Diaby's going all the way. Saved by Henderson. Bloody hell. When someone's that quick and they can just burst, so difficult to defend against. If you're not in control of the right man at the right time, then they're uncatchable. Diaby really is that guy, isn't he? Ferreira, Becker, held by Dino. Should have started Wes, really, shouldn't I? Well in. Austin. Reinders not with much room to work with here. But work with it he shall. Oh, it's a brilliant ball to Chuba. And here's Gustavo Harmer. And there's the equaliser. Gus finds the leveller in the FA Cup in the 69th minute. We're about to make a change to bring Rhian Brewster on up top with the intention of trying to help us score a goal. Who knew that Gus was the man instead? Go away with your ability to be bloody lightning quick, Musa. Oh, you lucky boys. Coutinho, Diego Carlos. Dean Henderson didn't fill me with confidence there. I'll tell you that much for free. Coutinho to deliver a corner. Akpom's up well. Mamouche on for Diego Costa. This is probably why he was as high up the pitch as he was, because there was a change in system coming for Aston Villa. Good block by Vinny. Boubacar Kamara recovers it. Mamouche. It'll fall to Pau Torres, and every centre-back on the planet wants to get involved apparently, but they can't score. Bogle. Come on, please. Just play it on the floor. Ah! Thought I'd try and catch him out. They might dangle a leg high to intercept it, and it'd go underneath. Vinny Souza. Tijani. Brewster. Oh, what a challenge. Alex Moreno. Well, extra time it will be then, thanks to that interception and lucky rebound. The two sides of it from Aston Villa there. The absolutely sublime in terms of talent. And then the supremely lucky. Oh, Dino. Oh, yes, Dino. Big save from Diaby. Up to his feet to make the second save as well. It will be an extra 30 minutes, but it could have been 2-1 at either end. Oh, they've given it away. Palmer, Brewster, looking for Tijani. I'm going to get sent, aren't I? Ah! Fresh legs could do the business here. Fresh legs of Chamberlain, fresh legs of Brewster. Worn tired legs. Worn legs as if we're playing... Oh, it's gone in! As if we're playing Formula 1 and talking about tyres. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, forget your fresh legs. A fresh mind as well as body. Positioned well, using his head. We might just be going to Wembley with 10 men. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with a brilliant header that Emi Martinez seemed slow to react to. Just ghosting in on the edge of the box there. Leaps well. And yeah, he just couldn't get there. It's a wonderful header. We are in front. Oh, what a goal. Well up, Rhian. Shame you couldn't head it to your teammate though, isn't it? Harry! Oh no. Mamouche. Dino! Big save! Mamouche can't believe it. Coutinho will deliver again. 5 or so to hold on. I'm tempted to just... I'm gonna. Anybody would in the same situation. Villa, you're going out of the cup. Sorry, lads. We are Wembley bound once more. Semi-final, not final this time. But we are Wembley bound once more. I didn't do myself any favours by getting Tijani Reinders sent off. But we are one of the final 4. Max Lowe's out for 3 months with a broken toe. Okay, that is not great. Max Lowe isn't one of the biggest impact players we have, but it's certainly not tremendous news that he's out for 3 months, that's for sure. Larousse will end the season as our #1 left back. He will be leaving the club at the end of the season, Larousse, but he's going to have the opportunity to make an impact here in the final 11 games of the Premier League season as we look to try and seal a top 4 spot. Everton, Jordan Pickford between the sticks, and a Kappa, Tarkovsky, Elizondo and Mikalenko. Thomas Soucek holding alongside Douglas Luiz and Andre Gomez in the middle. It's just weirded out with the positions because of right mids, not right wingers, or left wingers, not left mids, etc. and CDMs instead of centre mids. But you can see that it's a 4-1-4-1. And everybody involved is decent enough for Everton in theory. They're mid-table, which is probably a dream for Everton fans in real life right now. Sorry, Toffees fans, but it is not a good time to be an Everton fan and hasn't been for a couple of years now, is it? Although in the grand scheme of things, I'm sure it's absolutely fine. You're still in the Premier League, and even if you do get relegated, you're still in the Championship and you've still got a massive club. So there's no chance of you going insolvent or anything like that. I know it's all relative, etc. And miserable times are still miserable times. But in the grand scheme of things, Everton will be fine. Jayden Bogle Back inside here to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. From distance, why not on the left foot? From distance, why not on the right foot? That's a belter! The former Liverpool man slams home against his former Merseyside rivals. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is the epitome of a man you brought in to do a job that becomes a fan favourite and a first-team regular. We had no intention of keeping in the starting lineup long-term at all, and he's been the best player outside of Chuba Akpom. Oxlade-Chamberlain. That was meant for Bogle. It'll find Bogle. Back to Oxlade-Chamberlain. No, I couldn't do it again, could I? Bogle delivers. Chuba's up. It's going to fall to McBurney, who swept it wide. Here comes Jaden. There's Chuba. Akpom's on fire. Your defence is terrified, but Jordan Pickford willing to stand up for his scared defenders. Put in a performance. Harry's not going to get to that. Chuba can knock that down, though. Ahmedhodzic back to Chuba, and he still might score. We still might score. Nobody's going to score. Bogle. Oh, I could have taken the free kick for handball there. Chuba. Lovely finish. Hard and low. We will lead by 2, and Everton are done and dusted here for sure. A pretty chill game, this one, isn't it? Straightforward to this point. Everton just not got it. Sometimes there are games like this that crop up, where you're almost not getting out of second gear, and this feels like one of those where we're just going through the motions and quite comfortably just dispatching of our opposition. Imagine this is what it feels like to play Everton in real life for a number of Premier League sides right now. Ollie McBurney makes it 3, and in a minute a couple of results are going our way as well, so we should hopefully move up a position in the league, or at least be much closer to the top 4 than we were. Maybe even still with a game in hand as well. Oh, come on. Square it. Oh. Oh, let's ignore that, shall we? 3-1. Sochek. Andre Gomez. Dan Yuma. Chucky Lozano. Oh, gets really lucky, but still Dean Henderson keeps it out. I think the goal that they scored was just a case of, as we mentioned earlier when we scored at a third, being in second gear. Not concentrating fully because you're getting a little bit complacent, and then silly mistakes crop in. And a Kappa just getting a telling off there rather than a card for it. Final whistle's about to come. There might be one more chance maybe. McBurney through that gap. That is not Ollie McBurney. That's not Ollie McBurney either. But that is going to be the final whistle. Well, we didn't really ever have to get going to be comfortable in that game. Silly mistake to let Everton score, but we were already in such a good position that it didn't, in the end, matter that much. If I don't achieve my goals this year by +1 goal difference, then I will be quite annoyed at myself. But a couple of other results went well for us there, and we have shot up to 5th place in the league. And our goal difference is better than Arsenal's. So we can get ourselves into the top 4 if we win all of our remaining games. Do we have Arsenal left to play this season? We do. It's in our hands. Newcastle in the FA Cup semi-final. Forest to play next. And then we'll sim Palace at the end of the day. But we're in a good run of form right now. Nottingham Forest with Kamil Grabara in goal. Nico Williams, Felipe Niakate and Omar Richards, a familiar back 5. Danilo Holding, a familiar CDM. Mangler and Freuler in the middle. And Morgan Gibbs-White. And Taiwo Awoniyi. So only Alexander Mitrovic and Grabara at the back. The new signings at Nottingham Forest. They have not spent much money in this save. Or they have spent money, but not on the first team. So they're doing well to be mid-table with the squad that they have. Similarly, are Everton, to be fair, the team we just played. Their squad is not great either. I imagine Nottingham Forest will be a bit more of a test in this fixture. And already they're causing me some problems here with their high-tempo, quick press. But Harry Maguire is equal to it for now, and hopefully we will be throughout the course of the 90. Chamberlain. Okay, their high press. Not really working for him here. Chuba Akpom. 1-0. They have a whole 4 defenders and a CDM, and no one to be seen. That was one of the easiest goals we're ever likely to score. Just no defence. The defender just doesn't ever bother even trying to close me down. One man back there, and he didn't even want to defend anyway. It's like they were just resigned to the fact that this was going to end up in the back of the net. Nothing like a captain's emperor, eh, Felipe? And Bogle again. And they're isolated at the back again here. Oh, and it really should have been 2. ROC looking for McBurney, not finding him. Deliver. Oh, what a cross. Ep11 over the bar with a diving header. What a delivery. Inside. On again. Defence has gone walkabouts. And Tuber Ep11 will make them pay once more. This is similar to the Everton game. Not having to get out of second gear again. It's almost like we've built up such a reputation that teams feel like there's no point in trying, because they know that ultimately we'll come out on top. Are we starting to properly establish ourselves as one of the best teams in this division, and our other side starting to fear us rather than going at us? They got really lucky here and they still didn't score. Rather, oh, what a block, what a save. Rather than flying at us because they feel like they've got a chance, teams just give up. As soon as that first goal goes in, there's like that wave of, well, that's the game gone then. They could have got one back there and maybe that self-confidence might have returned. They got very lucky in the way that it created itself. But at the moment, we are comfortable again. Hopefully, if we can beat Palace in the final sim of the game and maintain a victory here, we're looking very good for a top 4 challenge and fight all the way to the final day. Come on, Micho, you got to hit the target, pal. Bogle. 1-2. Oh, I get lucky. Bernie. Oh, fuck's sake. That's where there is still some more quality to come from this team. With the RTG team that we had at the end of the previous save, that ball would have found its way through quite comfortably, and we'd have ended up going even further in front. We still might. Oh, it's just always someone else extra to play the ball to. We will score a third. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain just drifts in the back post, holds his position well, knows that the defender's going to get sucked in by Ollie McBurney's positioning, and then, first time, calm as you like, side foot it home. Second gear. Final whistle goes. That was pretty straightforward as well, to be honest. Everton and Forest just had nothing. I mean, they had 11 shots in the end, but I don't really feel like I was under any threat there. Manchester City extend their lead over Tottenham. Tar lads, where are we in the league now? 4th. We are 4th on goal difference ahead of Arsenal. Now then, watch me head into this simulated game against Crystal Palace and probably lose it and drop back out of the Champions League spots. Crystal Palace made a couple of good signings in this save, to be fair. Of course, got Joško Fardiol at centre-back, 84 rated now for them. And in the most recent January transfer window, we saw that they'd significantly improved in midfield as well. Sorry, in goal as well, by picking up Pau Lopez, the 82 rated goalkeeper, formerly of Roma, which is a massive improvement on what they previously had. Late 70s at best. So certainly Pau Lopez will, you would have thought, oh, I like injury to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. You would have thought Pau Lopez would have improved their fortunes in the league, but they are still in the relegation zone, despite actually quite a strong defence. So something's not clicking at Selhurst Park. Hopefully we can unlock their backline with as much ease as we did in the last 2 games and just get another straightforward 3 points. We're pinning them in at the moment, that's for sure. 1 shot in the whole of the first half. Better second 45, please. If we can beat Manchester City, then surely we can beat relegation-threatened Crystal Palace. Or maybe not. Eze, who picked up an early knock, now gives them the goal to go 1-0 in front. I was half joking when I said, now watch Crystal Palace beat me and us fall back out the top 4. But at the same time, you kind of expected it a little bit, didn't you? Tuba's got an equaliser for us at least, so maybe more of that in the final half an hour, and we'll still get the 3 points. This is a nice free-flowing move. It's immediately come to an end as soon as I acknowledge it. And there's the final whistle. It's a 1-1 draw only against Crystal Palace. Arsenal have Aston Villa, which isn't a straightforward game, but you would expect Arsenal to win that. And indeed they have. They extend their lead to 2 points. So we do drop out of, unfortunately, the top 4. But Tottenham are only 5 points away with a game in hand in our favour. So we're 2 points behind Arsenal. And if everybody wins on matchday 31, we'll be 2 points behind Spurs as well. 3 points ahead of Liverpool, but they have had a game in hand yet further on ourselves. Chelsea trying to get themselves into the picture, but they're going to need a really strong run-in if they are to do so. What was the deal at the top of the table? Still really close. Really close, although someone will have an advantage on points rather than goal difference by the end of matchday 31. Norwich still bottom. 6 points only from safety now. They have pulled it back a little bit, but still doesn't look great for them, nor Leicester, who've played a game more. We'll wait and see what happens between now and the end of the season. There's not long left of it. We've Fulham to begin the next episode. Wolves, Arsenal, Newcastle in the Cup in the semi-final, then Leeds United, Brentford, West Ham, Newcastle in the league, and away from home against probably relegated, certainly relegated by that point, Norwich City on the final day. Juve are unhappy with Moretti's appearances, but you can't recall him till the next transfer window when his loan would have expired anyway, so I'm not worried. Finally! Finally a youngster that might be worth it. 1.3 million. About time. About time. We've waited so long. And at last, after 2 long years of scouting, here, there and everywhere, we might have someone that is worth a sniff of some potential. He is the only one. Well, let's have a look at you, sir. Where are we? Carlos da Costa, 6 foot centre-back. Jumping at 65. Defensive awareness. Yeah, he's definitely a centre-back. He looks decent. We'll whack a development plan on him. I hope that he further improves. We'll go defensive centre-back just to get that defensive work rate up as well. No need to change these guys with regard... Well, to be fair, they've got a different weak foot, but they're growing really well with that alternative position development plan. So I'm happy with where we are. Would have been happy if we'd have beaten Palace, but things look good. Still going for a cup, maybe another final at the least. We'll find out tomorrow because we'll have that FA Cup semi-final against Newcastle on the way, and the game against Arsenal soon too. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you next time.